Um, my name is Eddie Green. I'm a sophomore philosophy and religion major from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. And actually, I'm here representing Life Lasting Elixirs. Actually, corporate sent me here. We actually have a difficulty with sales whenever it comes to religious groups, often and not. Especially the Christian groups. See, we got a little bad PR about 2,000 years ago. It's actually well documented, and that's why corporate sent me to go over a few of our products that may have been misconstrued in your past text. If you would open with me to John 4:10 in the NIV, we will begin. Jesus goes to Samaria. It's a thirsty man. He goes to a well and meets a Samaritan woman, and he asks her to draw water from the well. But it starts to take an interesting turn, and this is where my corporation gets a little nervous. So Jesus answered her, "If you knew the gift of God, who it is that asks you for a drink, you would have asked him, and he would have given you living water." "Sir," the woman said, "you have nothing to draw with, and the well is deep. Where can you get this living water? Are you greater than our father Jacob, who gave us the well and drank from it himself, as did also his sons and his livestock?" Jesus answered, "Everyone who drinks this water will be thirsty again, but whoever drinks the water I give them will never thirst. Indeed, the water I give them will become in them a spring of water welling up to eternal life." So I'll tell you a little bit about myself before I begin showing you the products I have for you. I'm not the biggest fan of water. It's not high on my list of things I like to enjoy. In fact, I normally choose a Life Living Elixirs Monster Energy. And the biggest thing I have against water is the ingredients. They don't really tell you what's really in the water. And Jesus, in this text, didn't really tell you what's going in these waters, but I can directly tell you what's in the man-made product, Monster. The first thing we have here is selfishness, aggression, and complete and utter apathy for the will and consent of others. Reading out loud, I mean, you could argue that those aren't the greatest things to have, but on your campus, you guys have wonderful custodians because these cans should be everywhere. We sell these cans to everyone on this campus. The idea of aggression to get what you want is permanent in everything here. The idea that everything that's destined for you can be obtained if you only fight so hard for it. This idea that we sell of just pure and utter control over everything as long as your will is done and not the will of the Father. That's kind of the thing that we sell here. It's all about everything that's promised to you and getting it however you want. The next product we have actually is, we have to travel quickly, so I have to combine a few things. I don't have so many hands. Is this idea of Starbucks, this elitism that comes with it. Some people don't rely on this everlasting water because they feel that they can become everlasting if their status reaches so high, if they read so many books or pay so much money or is known so well in a certain institution or a certain way that you can live forever as long as other people know your status amongst people. It becomes this idea of we sell this so well to the people that enjoy the idea of aiming for the stars, but if you miss, it's okay. Because if your status is high enough, you can buy all the stars that are out there. That's why they call it Starbucks.
My Lord, my Lord.
But status isn't really what you want either, I'm sure. With church-going folk, it's normally never status that holds us back. Maybe it's now being from corporate, they don't exactly know how to approach the Christian religious folk. So they have me present our future model. Now, some of you may be questioning, well, what's in this one? Well, it's up to you to fill up and figure out what's in this one. See, because we don't always know from corporate what will be your everlasting thing. What makes you think you can live forever? So we just market the bottle. Fill it up with whatever you need. So for me, my thing is the affirmation of others. See,
Yeah.
I drink it every day. Wake up. People like me. I feel good about myself, so I continue. Other people, it's something you're not supposed to drink till you're 21. And you keep going back to it because those issues that you had in the past, you have to keep running away from. So every day you have to get a little more, but somehow it keeps leaving you thirsty. Almost like it doesn't really fill you. So I keep switching it up. So I started with the affirmation of others. Then I went to that little 21-year-old drink. And now I'm stuck on this idea that I'm good enough for everything that God's promised me. Not just the things in my lane, but if I jump into somebody else, somebody's not doing something correctly. So, maybe if I just take control over it and run those things, that gives me a little bit of affirmation every now and then whenever I can control everything of others and say how somebody is or is not supposed to be. Because that makes me feel better about me. Because when I control what everybody else is supposed to be, it makes it easier for who I have to be. So I don't really know what's in your cup, but I feel like it would be completely unfair to present to you guys products but never show you the product that I'm competing against. So I don't have a prop for Jesus' everlasting water because whenever I called his corporation, they said that it's not physical. Oh. So when I brought that to the boys at corporate, they said, well, just go on with your presentation, just talk about it. We got a few things. Everything else that they say otherwise. So his everlasting water, I'll present it to you just to be fair, so y'all know that how confident I am in these man-made products. Jesus' everlasting water gives this joy that's unexplained, apparently.
Yes.
It gives this redemption for something that you didn't know you needed redeeming for. Some forgiveness that's not deserving of you. Justice when you were the unjust. Mercy when you was never merciful. And it has me thinking, what is in this everlasting water that keeps these Christian community people going back when we have all these options that you can acquire? Is toxic masculinity not enough for you? Controlling and silencing women in the LGBTQ plus community not enough? Keeping them all silent? That doesn't keep you going? It makes you still thirsty after that? That's fine. But what about status? Because you can combine both of these. Raise your own status while keeping somebody else down if you really want to. And thinking that you're at the top. But we can drop that and we can just look at your status as a whole. You can use anything to raise your status, but I guess with y'all Christian folk, that's not enough. And even when we give y'all the option to have anything you want in one of our specially made cups, to take you as high as you want to be, but you keep saying you come down too quickly, well, that's why we call it a quick trip. Something about this everlasting water that I feel is just something more than what we could provide. Something deeper than anything I feel as I'm up here looking at all y'all. Something deeper than life-lasting elixirs could do. And I think that's the issue. Is see, man-made products are only life-lasting. But the water God provides for you is everlasting. Amen.
Amen.
Wonderful. EJ, I want to start off here.